Okay. I'm talking to my mom, Elsie Petty King, and give your full name, ma.
Well, my full name is Elsie Petty. It was supposed to be Elsie Bell Petty, but they didn't put it on my birth certificate, so I dropped it when I was in high school, the Bell. So it's just Elsie Petty. And then after I married, I was Elsie Petty Little, and now it's Elsie Petty King.
Okay. Uh, could you name the rest of your siblings?
My
Yeah.
siblings, yeah. Um, James was the oldest, James Elijah, and then Laureen, this is the oldest daughter, Thomas Jr., he was the third, and Eleanor May, that was the fourth, and I was the fifth. And then came along Elsie.
Um,
Just jump around. You don't have to ask all of them where I put the checks by.
your
That's the only one.
your grandparents' names? Your parents and
Um,
grandparents?
okay, on Mama's side, her dad's name was Amos Gardner, and my grandmother, on mother's name was Cora Bell Sledge. And on my father's side, I'm not too sure because I really don't know that much about my father's side of the family. His father's name was Alex. I do know that. And I believe my grandmother on father's mother's name was Liza.
Okay.
I think it was
And they're
Liza.
all from
We're
Alabama?
still looking up
Yeah,
things like
they're
that.
still all
They all came from the Huntsville, Alabama area. Both sides of my parents were born and raised in Deposit, Alabama, which was close to Huntsville.
Okay. Now, did you have any relationship with your grandparents, or you don't remember?
No, the only one I ever saw before she passed was my mother's mother. She came to Detroit when I was about 6, and I can remember Grandma. She liked to dip snuff, and she'd sit by the window, and she'd just look out the window all the time. She wouldn't talk. She didn't talk much. Very quiet lady, very pretty, had long black, I could say salt and pepper black hair at that time.
Well, 16 kids, she probably was tired.
She was tired after having 16 children. You're right, babe. And she would comb that hair and comb it, and then she'd take it and wrap it up, and she had some pretty pins that she would hair. There were long hair comb pins, and she'd stick it in her hair. And when the weather began to get cold, I think she came in August, and by the last of October or 1st of November, they had to send her back home because she couldn't stand the cold. That was Grandma Bell. I didn't know Daddy. I never saw any of Dad's parents.
Okay. You were born in the Hamtramck, right?
Born in Hamtramck, Norwalk.
Norwalk. That was the house, yeah.
1931.
No other houses until you got married and moved, right?
I lived there until Arthur and I bought our first house on Eileen.
What was your nicknames growing up?
Oh, I had a nickname. My only nickname I can remember was, the kids all called me Baby because I was the last. And Daddy called me Baby, which he called all 3 of his girls Baby. But then our neighbor next door, Miss Pryor, she nicknamed me Bootsy. And it was the funniest thing. She would laugh at my boots. I was so tiny and so short. The boots I had looked like I was swallowed by them. So she just nicknamed me Bootsy. That's what she said. She said, "Them boots you had on as big as you." She called me Bootsy, Bootsy. Then my first husband, he nicknamed me Skeeter because he said I was small like a mosquito. I don't know what Arthur's reason for that. And then Abraham called me Boo. So
you had some
I
nicknames.
called him Big Boo and he called me Little Boo. That was the only nicknames I've ever had.
Any stories you want to say about the brothers and sisters?
Yeah, we had a very, the only thing I can say is I tell you the truth. People may think I'm lying, but we had a very I had a very happy childhood, and my brothers and sisters had me spoiled, as you probably can see. They had me spoiled, and we loved each other. We were a very close family, and I thank God that our parents raised us to love each other. We didn't agree on everything, but I cannot ever remember being so angry with my brother, either one of my brothers or my sisters, that I wouldn't speak to them or I didn't love them.
Okay, that's excellent. About education, how the high school?
I just graduated from high school. I wasn't did college material, and my father didn't have money, the finances at the time to send me to college. I had kind of aspired to go to cosmetology school like Laureen, but at the time, Dad was not. His job was very suspect because they were talking about closing down the place he worked by the time I got out of high school. So I didn't pressure them to go on to further my education. But I did. I was blessed to get a good job in my later years and worked after in 74. I got a job with the mortgage J.C. Penney's. I worked there for 4 years, and then I got a job at Manufacturer Hanover Mortgage Corporation, and I worked there till I retired in 1997. I had a very good job. God blessed me with a good job and a good place to work.
Okay. Now, do you enjoy when you do see your grands and your great grands? You do enjoy them when you see them?
Yes, I do. I love them, and I just wish we could see each other more. But anyway, I do love them, and I would do anything for them.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's it.
Okay.